Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me in another of my monologues. Now, as you know, Julia and I are in the process of purchasing some land. It seems interminable. I was looking at my diary only this morning, and in an entry I had in July was saying it seems to be taking forever to buy this land. Here we are mid-September and we're still in that process. I don't think the government like to help people along if they're buying a bit of land, because they don't want people to be independent. They would like us in those 15-minute cities dependent on the supermarkets. Now, not everybody, of course, wants to buy land, and not everybody wants to get off grid, and not everybody wants or is able to grow food. And so those people who can't do that may be thinking, well, what happens to us if those people that can get off out of the cities and out of the towns go off and grow food? What are we going to do? And I suppose the answer is to ingratiate yourself with those that can. And therefore, it would make sense that if you're unable to do that, or you just don't want to do that, but you don't want to go to the supermarkets, you don't want to rely on the government providing you with mealworms and insects and highly processed food, that you actually want real quality food, is to get behind those people who are doing the growing, which would have happened in the past. Not everybody was going to be on the land. You had other ancillary services such as blacksmiths and candlestick makers and candle makers, I suppose, too. And carpenters and thatchers and all those sort of other services that people used to do. And these days, of course, all of that is very tricky for people to set up business, because where is the business? If you want any metalwork, you don't go to your local blacksmith these days. You nip round to one of these do-it-yourself B&Q type places. Other companies are available, and buy things off the shelf ready-made and hope that that will do the job. Nobody goes and gets things bespoke, and if they do, it's a very small number of people. But what I think the future is going to hold, if we are going to survive through the tsunami of the tyranny of government nonsense, is for those people who can offer services to get out there and start doing them, whatever they are, whether that's going on the land and growing food, and those that need that service and need that food, is to support them. So I think there are many ways in which people can do that. So if you're, let's say you're in a terraced house somewhere in a town and you're unable to set up business and get things going yourself, but you may think, well, actually, I could support some growers, or I could support somebody setting up a blacksmithing business, or who wants to get into carpentry and those sort of things. Either they could invest financially in those businesses and say, look, I will give you some cash so that you can get going, so that you can start growing food or whatever it is, and then they get some food in exchange, they get the product. Or if they can, they get involved and say, look, I can't have a blacksmithy in my back garden, but I'm happy to come and give you a hand and hump the coal and get the fires going, or whatever it is, or do a day, and I'm very interested in becoming an apprentice maybe. And get involved, and same with growers. I'll come in and help with the harvest, or I'll help with planting or putting in hedges or digging ditches in exchange for the produce when it's there. So I think that there are lots of these sort of things that can go on. Maybe veg box schemes can be set up. People can promote the growers or these other services and help those get going, so that people know about it, so that people know that there is an alternative, if you like, to the convenience of the supermarket store, which of course at the end of the day has got nutrient deficient, vitamin free food, and is not necessarily very good, and I think would get worse in the future as farmers are under attack. It does seem to me that we are going to need a hell of a lot more small-scale farmers rather than the large farmers who are stuck in a system under DEFRA. We need more lawful people who understand the jurisdictions and step out of the system and grow freely and can get on with their lives and stay away from all the nonsense. And the more people that do that, the more independent that we become and less reliant on the state. And that's what I think, that's what Julia and I are going to try and do as best we can. And we hope that people will also help and support what we're doing, as well as the myriad of others who are going to do likewise. And as I said before, once we get on the land, we will have some videos to show our efforts. Now, I know we're going to make mistakes. I know we're going to look foolish. We're going to do things which may look stupid. But the main thing is we are trying. We will be getting out there and doing. And at this stage, it's a learning curve. And of course, making mistakes is all part of that learning curve. Yes, I've got a load of books, and yes, I can learn a lot from those books, but putting it into practice is a different thing. Now, you may say, but Richard, you're far too old to be doing that. And people have said that. I'm 62. But that doesn't stop me wanting. And the passion behind it, the passion to get out there and start doing these things is burning within. And if it is burning within you to do these things, to actually make the sacrifice and get out there and do this stuff, then you will, I think, succeed. But there are many people out there who sort of, their passion is sort of lukewarm. You know, they'd like to, but actually at the end of the day, you know, sitting on the sofa, watching a Netflix film and putting the fire on, being connected and having all the convenience of the little shop round the corner or the supermarket at the end of the lane, you know, all those sort of things, people still hold on to. I think that if we are going to win this, we have got to pull up our socks, we've got to roll up our sleeves, and we've actually got to make that effort and say, right, you know, I'm in. It's all or nothing. As my old mime teacher used to say, it's priest or prostitute. You're either in or you're out. It's all or nothing. There's no sort of halfway measures. And going into the future, if we are going to save this place, if we're going to have something to fight, you see a lot of people who are going, oh, I can't stick it in this country, I'm going to leave, I'm going to find pastures new. Well, I don't think that's the right attitude. I was born on this landmass we call Britain, and I think that this is a fantastic place. I like the climate, I like the architecture, I like the soil, I like the geology, and I like the animals, and I like the people. And I think there's something worth fighting on for and keeping. And if you're like me and you follow all those sort of things, then there's something for us in the future. I think the future is good. We're in the fire, we're in the eye of the storm, but we will get there if we knuckle down and not just sit back and let somebody else do it. There's no saviours, it's down to us, but we can do it. Whatever age you are, we can do something, whether that's investing and helping and sending money to those people who are doing the stuff, whether that's giving your time to assist, or whether that's actually getting out there and buying a bit of land or setting up that small independent business that supports one another, or whether that's working out a bartering system or some way that we can move out of the nasty, evil jurisdiction that keeps us under the thumb. Just my thoughts. You may disagree. You're welcome to disagree. You're welcome, of course, to leave your comments, etc. Be nice to one another, and let's see where we get to. Until next time, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.